Does this sound better?
Did you? Oh yeah, you sound good. Hey, did you guys like the direct? I loved it. Did you guys like it? I haven't talked to you guys since it came on the other day.
What direct?
What are you talking about? The direct?
No. We had a partner direct the other day. Guys,
the PlayStation
kind of talked about this last week.
Experience or whatever it's called.
April direct?
The PlayStation Experience.
PlayStation doesn't have directs. They have the State of Play.
Yeah,
the Nintendo Direct with the partner showcase. They totally showed off a new Octopath Traveler. Y'all didn't hear me screaming from Texas.
Was there a lot of Xbox games?
No, I'm an Xbox. I'm asking you if you saw the Nintendo Direct. Paul, you practically work at Nintendo. You saw the Nintendo Direct this week.
The April one from like 3 months ago?
No.
Was Silksong there?
Silksong is a myth.
Oh.
Silksong is a myth. No, I think Yoshi's confused. There's a direct that's.
They showed off Donkey Kong Bonanza for the first time. Metro Prime 4.
Yeah, that was
the Switch 2 edition.
Yep, that was the last one. So
that was cool.
There's
that was a good
direct.
Where were you all a few days ago on Wednesday morning? Where were you?
Is that direct that teased Animal Crossing in 2026?
It's Friday, Joycey. It's Friday. The direct is next Wednesday. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, there's the partner. The partner was next week.
Yeah, it's next week, right?
Guys,
I think
it's August 1st.
No, it's not. It's wait, let me make sure my calendar here.
July 29th.
July
on the West Coast. On the West Coast, at least, it's still July 29th.
Yeah. It's not August 1st, Joycey. It is July 25th. Friday, July 25th.
Y'all need Jesus. Y'all need Jesus. I'm gonna pray for y'all. Then I'm gonna send you new calendars.
This is good energy drink. If you want
this just became the Nintendo gaslighting podcast.
You better wake up and pay attention.
Yeah.
I love that movie too.
All right,
start the show, Mike.
Welcome to the Nintendo podcast. Hold up, that's not the one.
Wait, have we been live this whole time? Why do you keep making us go live when we're still talking about things? You all haven't even seen the direct this week.
Welcome to the Nintendo podcast, everyone. We just went live. Don't worry, you guys didn't hear anything before that, and so we're here live.
That totally didn't happen.
Yeah, we are about to enter into the Nintopic zone and bring all the positivity, all the love, all the light, because it is the best way to end your week, no matter how bad Nintendo or naughty what they were this week. We're gonna go ahead and talk about all the cool stuff, a little bit of the bad stuff, but have a lot of fun. But before that, I need to introduce the all-star cast today. All right, so with us for the very first time is Sir N64 Josh, first of his name, King of the Polygons and Jagged Shadow, Lord of the Hyrulean Plains, White Wielder of the Three Prolonged Tridents, Patron Saint of the Expansion Pack, and the Last Blower of Cartridges. What's up, Josh?
Yo. I wish I had a cartridge. Where's a car? I need to blow a cartridge. So good to be here. That was a so good to be here. Hello everybody. How was that direct?
That direct was good. Was incredible. The best of all kind.
All's faithful otherwise.
And next we have Lady Joycey of House J, the unchanged queen of the companion cube and the couch co-op breaker of servers, bringer of salty tears and Joy-Con drifts, and first lady of the Final Fantasy breakdown. Hi, Josie.
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm also a professional demon aggravator. I aggravate demons, and that's a wonderful thing. Good evening, everyone. I am so glad you're here to hang out with us. And yes, I know we're going to talk about it, but I got to say it now. Octopath Traveler 0. Yes, I understand it was a mobile game. We'll get all into that. But if you didn't know, or if you wondered what that scream was Wednesday morning, that was me. That was me.
Zero
It made me so happy.
Octopath Traveler 0 was a mobile game.
Well, there's a version of it that was on the mobile. They completely revamped it, changed up the story, added, of course, a ton more stuff, and it's Octopath 0.
We named it 0. Okay.
Yes, and I don't care what happens after that. I am going to play the demo soon, but we'll talk about it. We'll get into it, y'all. I promise. We'll get into it.
All right. So. And last but not least, introducing Lord Paul of House Gale, the coming storm, warden of the West Coast servers, shatterer of the world records, master of the digital whisperers, and wielder of the blade of Olympus with numbers.
That's about right.
Yeah. It's been a good day for numbers. I'm sure we'll get into that later, but yeah. I'm happy to be here. You know, I beat Donkey Kong Bonanza a couple of evenings ago. Playtime of 40 hours and 10 minutes, and I posted up on X. What did that give me? Because people might be wondering, well, is that to completion? Is that to rush through it? No, you know what I got. Like this percent of that percent of that. So it's like a healthy amount of playtime, not to 100% it, not to just rush it, but like, hey, I got like about 70% of most things. And that was like this 40-hour just beautiful journey over 14 days in which now I'm in the post game having more fun. I'll give some more impressions on it, but to keep it short and sweet, fantastic title. And yeah. Doing all right today.
Yeah. One day we'll do a Donkey Kong Bonanza full spoiler cast. And then talk about all the stuff that's in that game because there's so much. I'm also working on my first review in a long time. It's gonna be like a 30-minute review of the game because it's fantastic. I'm gonna go over every single layer of the game. No spoilers, but just let you know, if you are playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, don't beat it unless you have at least 500 bananas. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all you need, just 500 bananas. You can beat it with less, right? But there's a little treat afterwards, and if you want to continue gathering bananas, then you can beat it with less. But if you want to go through the treat, like back to back, then make sure you have at least 500 bananas so that you can enjoy that after treat. There, did you complete that, Paul, or are you doing it now?
I did have more than 500 upon beating it.
You completed the post game.
I'm still in the post game. I've been enjoying the post game for an hour.
Yeah. That's good. That's awesome. All right, and I am Mike Odyssey. I don't have a long name, just Odyssey.
Who?
I'm
Where are we?
I'm from the House of Odysseys, and
first of his name.
Yeah, first of his name. and the Perez's of lost Puerto Ricans, and so. Before we move on, we gotta shout out Cryptic on the $4.99. What does Joycey think of the Legend of Elliot? A Link to the Past? Oops, I mean Millennium Tales. Totally not HD Zelda game.
Bruh, of course. I can go ahead and I can just say this now. The beauty of a lot of the devs that were showing off their games at this direct that totally never happened, that I totally dreamed up, that they don't know what I'm talking about. Square Enix, when it comes to these HD 2D games, has really won my trust. I didn't really have to see much, except I was like, why does this like remind me of like Link's Adventures or maybe even A Link to the Past? And you nailed it. So that's all I need to see of the game. I am going to play the demo just because I kind of want to feel like I'm playing it, but I'm totally gonna play the demo. I'm gonna buy the game. If it comes physical, I'm buying it physical along with Octopath as well. But I thought it was just adorbs, and I said I want to play this. I'm interested. I'm invested. So yes, I was very excited about whoever Elliot is, and I want to go on this journey with him.
Yeah. I mean, the last time we heard of him, he was helping ET escape. So at least we now know where he ended up, and he's gonna be in the game. So it's cool, right?
Exactly, Mike.
Right. So, all right. Thank you so much, Cryptic, and that's one of the games I'm looking forward to.
Mhm.
All right. So let's pull up the list, because today we're gonna be talking about, of course, we're gonna get our first impressions, our highlights from yesterday's Nintendo Direct. No, it was not a total mess. It was not a total failure. Were there games for everyone? Maybe not. Were there games for someone? Yeah. There's always games.
Here's my list of games.
There you go.
I filled up a page.
Yeah. There are always games for everyone there. And so I was happy with some of the third-party support that we got. Games like Madden. I've never thought we would see a game like Madden on Nintendo Switch. That's actually really good from EA to bring that over. Trust me, Madden is up there when it comes to sales. It's a big seller. And so for people who want to play Madden on the go, and when they want to try the bigger screen, because we have the biggest screen on a handheld system so far, they'll pick up a Switch just to play Madden on the go, right? And so we had a couple other announcements that were really cool from the Direct. Let me go ahead and pull them up here so I can do like a little mini recap, just a mini recap, and then send it over to the cast so that they can give their 1-2 hits of what they believe and what they think about the yesterday's presentation. I do want to do a shout out to Nate the Hate. Okay, I do want to do a shout out to Nate the Hate. I've been following Nate the Hate through the entire process of when he did share information on the Nintendo Direct. Remember that he once said he didn't know what type of Direct it was. He said, I know there's one coming, and I can't tell you what format it takes, either Direct Mini, Direct Partner Showcase. He didn't know. He didn't want to even guess. He did mention it was going to be really heavy on third-party support. We ended up getting a Partner Showcase. You know what I mean? And so I at least we have to give credit where credit is due. The only one of the leakers out there, well, not kind of the fake ones. Well, the only one of the leakers out there who kept, getting some information, correct, and was kind of careful not to say too much, right? All right, so yesterday's Partner Direct lasted about 25 minutes, right? 25 minutes. And Nintendo made some announcements. The announcements, let me go ahead and make my screen bigger here because this man is blind. Okay, so let's go over the announcements from yesterday. We got EA Sports Madden NFL 26, which is awesome. Of course, we got EA Sports FC 26. The FC series is always on Nintendo Switch. They do a very good job in porting it to Switch. I'm sorry, I got to give it up to EA. EA, they don't play games. They have to port a game to Switch. They port it to Switch. They make it work. So there's no reason why some games that are out there cannot come to Nintendo Switch as well when Switch was the main console. EA did it for other sports games. I'm sure you guys can do it too. We have a little cozy game known by Chilling by the Fire. Kind of creepy. We got Yakuza Kiwami 2 and Yakuza, not Yakuza. Is it Kiwami? Am I saying it right? Kiwami?
I think so.
Kiwami 2 and Yakuza Kiwami, both games on Nintendo Switch 2. We got Final Fantasy Tactics, the Valis Chronicles. This is for Nintendo Switch 2 edition. We also got an update to Apex Legends for Nintendo Switch 2. We got a new Plants vs. Zombies Replanted game coming to Nintendo Switch. Of course, we got Joyce's new game, Octopath Traveler 0. We have a new Just Dance 2026 coming to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. We also have The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, HD 2D action adventure RPG from Square Enix, the first ever HD 2D action adventure game. Action adventure game means it's not turn-based. It's like just action adventure, and just chopping. And we got Dragon Ball Sparkling Water, which is awesome. I'm sorry, not Sparkling Water. That's what I was drinking. Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. Yeah. Zero calories. We got the emotional RPG Persona 3 Reloaded. We got a big fan favorite for this one was the Landon from Nintendo Land. He went nuts over Pac-Man World 2 repack coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
That was cute.
The whole enchilada. We got the I'm not even pronounce that one. We got Hella is another game that's coming to Nintendo Switch. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment was also part of the Nintendo Direct, although I feel like this is like the same trailer. They just kind of re-edited it, and then they added a little bit of piece of a new little part at the end that we can talk about today. Shinobi Art of Vengeance and Star Wars Outlaw. It started out, of course, we also have Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Chilling by the Fire. We got Just Dance. Star Wars Outlaw. Oh, Chronos: The New Dawn, which is by the makers of Silent Hill 2. Very cool looking game, as in when it comes to the visuals. I'm not a horror fan, but the game looks very, very good. And to a point where it looks like the only Switch 2 game that was made for Switch 2 using the console, right? Every other game kind of looks like it could belong on Switch and Switch 2. Yeah, let's see here. I think that's it. That's all the games that were on the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. Borderlands. Oh, they did do a little collage, right? In that collage, we saw Borderlands 4, Romancing Saga 2, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, that Shinobi one. We saw a little cute game called NBA Bounce, Goodnight and Goodnight Universe. So those were all of the games that were in the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. In the chat, if you want to highlight whatever game you like the best, and then I'm going to go ahead and send it over to. Let's go over to Paul. Paul, what do you think? What were your highlights? Well, first thing, what was your impression? Your overall impression. This is the same question for all three of you. What is your overall impression of this Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase? And what was the highlight and what was the low light?
I feel in a minority when it comes to this opinion. And maybe it's because I'm 42 and come from a little bit of a different era, but I used to get my video game news once a month in the mail via Electronic Gaming Monthly magazine or Nintendo Power. And that was it. In this era, we are so fortunate, I am, being a seasoned gamer, to have gaming news constantly. All the time from Nintendo, from Capcom, from everyone. It's awesome. And when I get a few Nintendo Directs throughout the year, none can be bad. I am getting digital moving motion pictures with speaking, lines of dialogue, animated moving pictures of 27 games that would normally take several months to see via pictures in magazines coming to you once a month. And I can never not think back to the past. Now, that doesn't mean you should just give everything that's a video format a pass, like, oh, it's just good by default. Not quite. They do have to have a nice variety of games, a good amount of genres, but if they kind of hit a couple of those nails on the head, a few different IP that I'm familiar with or I'm a fan of, then that's the makings of something good. Not every game of the 27 or 24, however many shown, are going to be AAA, must-have, 10 out of 10, 50-hour, top-to-bottom experiences that are my Mario, my Zelda, my etc. So I'm coming in from a very realistic appreciative standpoint, but also someone that I don't have all my eggs in one basket in life. So not everything in my weekly life is all rolling on this one direct to make or break Paul Gale. There's playing with my kids, looking forward to the next Superman movie, looking forward to this Nintendo thing, doing some chores, mowing the lawn, being like, you know what, darn, I did a nice job there. Dusting the furniture, be like, you know what, that's a nicer, cleaner looking pop of brown left over instead of the dust on top of it. Like, there's so many other things, and I think that's what irks some people, that is like, if all you've got is this one direct, and then for 4 months you've got nothing else, if that direct didn't satisfy you, like, I see people freaking out. I see people like borderline depressed from a presentation not hitting me. Like, dude, go pick up King Kong and like enter the Monsterverse. Go get a couple of comics. Find a way to diversify what makes you you. Work out. Learn a martial art. Garden. Do something so that you're always happy, because there's more that's fulfilling you constantly than just one thing. So I know that's a little bit of psychology behind it, but like, I want to explain, like, you're hardly ever going to find me say, oh man, that presentation sucked. Like, there's never been a presentation ever since Nintendo started doing these directs in like 2011, fall of 11 or fall of 12, that I said it was bad. Just some that are less good. And that's because they always have something that delivers. So now that I gave that whole spiel out of the way,
out of 10, what do you grade it? What do you grade it?
Oh, that's a B. That's a B.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a B.
Yeah.
Paul just told us to go touch grass, y'all.
And
I told Paul, nope, you gotta grade it.
it was a B. Now, am I gonna buy Madden? No. But I thought that Madden looked good, and I realized its importance, and it was important to see it running well on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, The Adventures of Elliot, dang, that game looks really solid. That's this HD 2D thing. That's the cross between Zelda and Octopath Traveler, and like, that was cool. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, that's the game I'm stoked for, and I got to see more. And then I got to speculate, are they building a Link? Because this is back in the day, like, what's with this character? Is that the origin of Link? Like, what? So I got my, like, I'm a nerd over like Zelda and Mario and Superman. Like, there's some things that I'm really like, ooh, I could deep dive into this. Chilling by the Fire, cool. Couple of new Yakuza titles, cool. Opening up with Monster Hunter Stories 3. Like, that's a big IP. Do you realize Monster Hunter is one of the biggest to come out of Japan in the last 20 years from a third-party studio that has had longevity? Now, it's not a main entry, but story still looks fine. We needed to see more footage of Borderlands 4. We got it. Chrono looks cool. Apex Legends, being able to compare that to the Nintendo Switch version. Like, oh, wow. It's nice to see some games that have been around for a while looking better on Nintendo Switch 2. FC Octopath Traveler 0. I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I love Dragon Ball. So seeing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on Nintendo Switch 2, I didn't pick it up on PS5 or Xbox Series. Not because with all these games, sometimes I'm just holding out for the Nintendo Switch 2 version. That's what I did with Split Fiction. With Sparking Zero, it was just because too many things sometimes happen in life that I'm not buying a game as it comes out unless if I absolutely need it. And Sparking Zero, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm definitely going to get it now just because it's on Nintendo Switch 2, but probably a little bit more likely than not because, well, then again, it also depends on when's it going to come out, because I love Dragon Ball, but like, do I absolutely need it? I don't know. We'll see. Star Wars Outlaws, seeing it, cool. Pac-Man World. My wife is a big Pac-Man fan. In particular, she likes Pac-Man World on Nintendo GameCube. So I told her last night, hey, you're going to like this one. Because when we first got married, one of the first things she said was like, does Wii U have a Pac-Man World? I'm like, no, but you can play backward compatible. Anyways, like Pac-Man World too. So I'm looking at it from my wife's perspective. Final Fantasy Tactics. That's a big one. That if, once again, you're an older gamer that was in the 90s when Squaresoft, before they merged with Enix, formed Square Enix, left Nintendo and made PlayStation games, you knew that Final Fantasy Tactics was a high-quality strategy RPG set within the Final Fantasy Cosmos universe that was a solid get. And then you had a couple of other little things like Shinobi, by the way. Download that demo. That's pretty dope. And then you've got Just Dance and Once Upon a Katamari, another. You only used to see that on PlayStation back in the day. And now a lot of the things from the 90s, early 2000s have come to Nintendo. Nintendo stuff never left to go to Xbox or Sony. But that's one of the hard sells of like a PlayStation Mini. All those games on it, it's like, oh, what made Sony successful back in the day wasn't Sony's own first-party hardcore games on PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. No, it was a lot of third-party support. So buying a modern-day PS1 Mini, it's not as valuable because they have gone elsewhere, whereas Nintendo stuff has only stayed too. Like the NES Classic, the SNES Classic made it more valuable. Anyways, that's another story for another day. But like I just listed off a dozen games from those 20-something, and that was solid. I wouldn't say that any one game made me blow up off my seat the way Donkey Kong Bonanza did at April's Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
But it didn't have to. Also, I'll end it here. There were some third-party games, I think, carefully omitted from this that we thought previously were obvious, like Elden Ring wasn't here. Final Fantasy VII Remake, or what they alluded to being the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy of games, which by now would include Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or the Duskblood, a couple of other big third-party titles that we know about that weren't here. Nintendo has to very carefully distribute the news throughout the year. Otherwise, they know it, Nintendo games will cannibalize all the sales on the system, and third parties won't find success. By not giving the spotlight yesterday or a couple days ago to some of the bigger ones, it gives some of the other lesser known ones a time to shine. And that's important in satisfying the publishers because they're all getting equal time. I imagine that within 7 weeks, it's August 1st.
Yeah.
By mid-September at the latest, there will probably be another proper Nintendo Direct. That's another 42, 47-minute presentation. That one has the big third-party games, including updates to stuff that we learned about but still don't know, like, well, when's Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out? And some of the stuff like, well, when's Kirby Air Riders coming out? So it's going to happen. But you have to make the developers that are working on the games, because there's a lot of games out there, happy, because if their product sells and it's well received, then they're going to have more games that they make, and the publishers are going to be more willing to pump those games out on the systems, etc. Now, I will say the one downer, because I'm not downing on any of the games, I'm not downing on the length of the Direct. I'm fully understanding of why you can't show everything awesome 10 after 10 after 10 in one presentation. You have to diversify and give the limelight to the lesser knowns, because then that builds faith with the publishers, and that's a very important thing. And in the past, I know from companies, it's hard to sell our game on Nintendo, because on Nintendo consoles, what do people want to buy? They want to buy Nintendo games. And then you still have a little bit of that trope go to the day. Nintendo's making a lot of moves to try to have, I think, the best, most solid, well-rounded list of games ever between third-party partners and first-party. And Nintendo is more aware of this than ever before, partially because they have to, because they know internal development is going to be harder and longer to make games on Nintendo Switch 2 with 4K assets, etc., than it was in the past. So guess who's going to fill in the blanks throughout the year in between their big releases, which aren't going to be as often? Third parties. You're going to have to satisfy them. So I get it from a fan's perspective. I get it from an old school perspective of just, I'm not greedy. But I also have learned to diversify in, I like a lot of different kind of things. And I get it from a business perspective. So B, in terms of like presentations, cool stuff, but in my mentality of like satisfaction of like, was that necessary? A. The only thing I'll say negative, kind of, is not that game key cards exist. I think it's good that they exist, but I don't think it's good that they are a replacement of cartridges. I've said this on the podcast multiple times. Game key cards are fine because, hey, they give you a little bit more tangible physical usage of your game in that you could take it to a friend's house and share it easily. You could sell it later easily. Otherwise, though, for me, I'd rather go with digital than game key card because the convenience factor of just having 14 games on my Nintendo Switch 2 and popping them in and out literally like on the screen versus going off my couch and putting in this empty piece of plastic that does nothing. I'd rather do the digital because it's going to take up the same space. I would, however, be willing to spend another extra $10, maybe $15 max more for a physical cartridge because I value my internal storage space to give to the smaller games. And I don't mind getting off the couch, but I want to get off the couch because the principle matters. That medium is on there, and I recognize that medium costs more. I got to spend more. That's okay. Anyways, that's my whole deal. Long story short, which is impossible now because I gave you the long story, is find direct. And people could complain. That's okay. We come from different perspectives. We come from different approaches, and that's all right. I never try to convince anybody to think my way, but I'm giving you my perspective of how I think, and maybe you disagree, or maybe you're like, you know what? Some of that makes a little bit sense. I guess I could incorporate some of those values into my life, but I'm not even saying do it. I'm just saying that's me. That's all. Mic drop. Boom.
We can't
All
hear
right,
you,
thank
Mike.
you so much, Paul, for your input. What?
Sorry, I thought we
Am I
couldn't hear
good?
you for a moment. I saw your mouth moving, but I didn't hear you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
As soon as
sorry.
you said that, I was like, oh man, if I was muted or something. The whole
That's
time.
with my head. That's with my head. I believe it.
I
So
swear I wasn't. I'm so sorry.
thank you, Paul. So Joycey,
Yes.
do you remember the questions?
I do not.
Sorry.
Overall impressions of the showcase, and then your high point, or the best
Oh.
part of the direct, and what wasn't so good. I'm not gonna say bad because it wasn't a bad presentation. What was not as good as the rest? Like, what's the highs and the lows? Because we want to relate to everyone, right? Because I know everybody has different, like Paul said, we come from different backgrounds, right? Different likes, dislikes, and so as a podcast, we want to relate to everyone, who, no matter what you're feeling, whether you hated it or you loved it, right? We want to understand why of things. So, what was your highs? What was your lows? And give it an overall grade. What's the deal? Banana peel.
Let me get another, because one coffee isn't enough, so I had to get another one. I can't believe I love this Starbucks this much. Okay, look. I'm gonna tell you right now, I give the direct an A-.
Okay, that's good.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I thought the pacing was good. I thought the arrangement of the trailers were good. I can deduct points, I guess, in the sense of there's a couple things I might have done differently with the arrangement. I might have made it a full 28 to 30 minute direct. I think one of my buddies in one of my Discords said, and I really liked his point of view. He said it might have, the games that are coming to Switch 1 and Switch 2, where there are graphical updates or changes, or it runs better or something of that nature. It would have been nice to see that kind of running side by side. Switch 1 version, Switch 2 version, so everybody, who has a system, they know what the difference is, because there are some people that are like, ooh, Switch 2 is still a little steep for me, but I really want to play a lot of the games. Maybe I can go get a Switch 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the actual, it's hard to say when something's bad, except for that one direct where we got nothing but farming sims. I don't think that was bad. It just, oof. I wouldn't have done it that way. But they can only give us the games that are ready to come out or ready to be announced. That's all they can do. Yeah. So I can't say it's bad if every single game isn't directed at me. Y'all know me. if we had nothing but a 45-minute direct of nothing but Zelda game after Zelda game after Zelda game, that's only going to make a few people happy. Like me. It would make me happy.
Yeah.
But what about people who don't like Zelda? You see what I mean? So the games that I saw were great. We've been asking for more third party. And Nintendo said, "Okay, here you go." How many games were in 25 minutes? Oh my gosh. So yeah, so that's my lows or my bad takes or what I didn't like or however you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go over my list of all the things I did like. Let's see here. Okay. Got a pin. Monster Hunter Stories. I'm like, opener. I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
this looks good. Why does it remind me of Breath of the Wild? What is happening? Ooh, that looks cool. Oh, Monster Hunter Stories. Monster Hunter is a game series I want to get into.
Mm-hmm.
The games look great. I forget which one it is, but I have one in there. Still has the plastic on it. Haven't even opened it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Final Fantasy Tactics. Never played the Final Fantasy games.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of this gen, we're gonna see if Joycey can go through her backlog and somewhat keep up with a lot of these games that I'm really interested in. That's actually the goal by the end of Switch 2's life cycle. Persona 3 Reload. Persona is another series I would like to get into. The only thing I heard some mixed things about Persona, that the base game is this is what I heard, guys. I haven't fully had a chance to research it, but I heard that the base game is going to be $90 and it doesn't include the DLC.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, we're going to put that on the bottom of the list for now. Mm-hmm.
Payment plans.
Okay, so now we got to talk about my favorite. So this is like the ultimate high for me. Hyrule Warriors.
There you go.
I don't need anything else. Just give me the game. I don't care about trailers.
Remember what I told you? That's Link at the end, right? That's Link. That has to be Link.
That's Link. Now that that's in the trailer, this is not. We're obviously not spoiling anything. The game's not out. But I think that goes with my theory that I've been saying for a while. It's going to be that ancient hero version. So what I think the twist is that it's not the Link that we know from Tears of the Kingdom. It's spiritual Link from that era.
Okay.
I don't necessarily know if it's the same Link. The other theory I have is that, okay, so in Tears of the Kingdom, Minoru's construct, Minoru, of course, was not on. Okay, Minoru was dead basically during Tears of the Kingdom, but her consciousness and everything was uploaded to her mech that she made, which was super cool. What's keeping them from grabbing Link's subconscious from the future and bringing it back? Because what's interesting is Link was knocked out for a very long time. Because Tears of the Kingdom had a cold open. We see Ganon, Zelda falls into the past, and Link is knocked out actually for a while.
Yeah.
For a long while. To when he got back, people were like, yo, where you and Zelda been? Y'all been gone for a long time. So that's a perfect explanation, if you will, for where his consciousness or why he was knocked out during that time period. So there's that.
Why he has the hand of Rauru, you know?
Well, the Tears of the Kingdom explains that. So that we understand why he has the arm in that game, because basically his arm was amputated. Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds so violent.
Horrible.
That's like, wow, when you really break it down, like wow. Oof. Anyway, we got to see Urbosa's like great grandma or whatever. I'm so hyped. We get to actually meet the sages. Finally, somebody is going to tell us about the actual imprisoning war, like for real this time. We're going to see it. I'm excited about that. Well, because that's what they said every single time you beat a dungeon in Tears of the Kingdom. Let me tell you about the imprisoning war. The exact same scene, but from my point of view. So they just moved the camera this way. Bruh. So, and y'all know that's always been something that bothered me about Tears of the Kingdom. I am excited about the Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales. I'm just really excited for that. I told you guys, when it comes to these HD 2D games, Square Enix got it on lock, you know, and I'm like, I just saw like the first few seconds and I'm like, okay, I want it. You don't have to convince me anymore. You don't have to twist my arm. I want it. But of course, the scream that I scrumped.
The scream that you scrum?
The scream that I scrumped, okay, when they showed off Octopath Traveler 0, because I had been joking about it. Oh, I want another Octopath. But I remember an interview a few years ago when Octopath 2 came out with the devs, and they were like, well, we really don't know where else we can go. You know, we kind of told as many stories as we can tell, blah, blah, blah. But the game did very well. The first one is great. The second one's amazing and fixed a lot of things from the first one that weren't perfect. So I can only imagine how good this one is going to be. I had been joking like, oh, there's no way we're going to get another Octopath Traveler. So that was the moment for me. I know Hyrule Warriors is coming. I'm already sold on it. Nope, no problem. Just give me a release date. Tell me how much it is. I'll be there day one. But I didn't. I never saw it coming. Came out of nowhere. We're getting another Octopath Traveler. I have raved about these games on this podcast for years. I've raved about it on my Twitter. I need all of you watching. You. Okay.
Me?
You. No. Well, you too, Mike. But I'm talking to him right here. You, adorable one with face. I see you. You need to play Octopath Traveler. You know why? Because you deserve good games. You do. Okay, I want you to understand that you deserve good games, and I want you to play it, and then come back and tell me how good it was and how much you liked it. I enjoyed the direct, and also I'm gonna say this again. I'm not gonna stress out on a system that's basically 2 months old. I think it would be a time to worry if we got to the end of the year and we don't get another general direct, we don't get any other announcements, we don't get anything else for the rest of the year. I think then it's time to kind of worry, but only a little bit. I think people have a little bit of PTSD from the Wii U days. Not only because the other thing about the Wii U is the games were kind of trickling a bit. Right? There's a lot of great games in the Wii U, but a lot of people don't know that because they were kind of trickled down. And I think that also kind of killed hype for the system at that time. So, yes, I am breaking the fourth wall. Thank you, Cryptic. So I think that people are concerned, like, because Nintendo does have a history of brand new system, yay sales, yay games, and then the follow-up system, you know, so I think that's where people are concerned about. But I think Nintendo hit the ground. Okay, they didn't hit the ground. They hit the ground and then stumbled and kind of rolled onto their feet and then took off running. And we got a lot of great games to start. And I think we got a lot of third-party games going next. And I also think that we're still getting another general direct because we don't know when Hyrule Warriors is coming out, but it's supposed to be coming out winter. I know there's a theory of when we might know because it's been rated in Australia, I believe. But we still don't have a date for Metroid Prime 4.
That's the other topic we're entering into.
Yeah. Okay, I don't want to get too far into that. So I think when we get to the end of the year into next year, Nintendo wants us to keep buying things. That's how business works. They want you on their platform as much as possible. They want you buying as much as possible. They want you completely as much in their ecosystem as possible. Okay. So I don't think that the hype is going to stop. So they have to show us even more going forward so we can keep buying things into the holidays, into the new year, into next spring and everything else. So you got to keep giving us things. And I really want to piggyback off something that that cousin Paul, Sir Knight Paul, Lord Paul, numbers God, dude, countdown guy. I want to piggyback off something he said. It's only a few months. You know, they can't hit us with banger after banger after banger. And just imagine, guys, I really want you to imagine this with me. Nintendo says, hey, Switch 2 comes out on this date. here's a 2-hour direct with every single game that is coming, with every single date, with every single price, and we're not going to talk to you for the next 8 years. See you when Switch 3 comes out.
That's hilarious.
Where is the fun in any of that?
That's what PlayStation did.
No shade to PlayStation. PlayStation do whatever they want. I'm talking about Nintendo. So I don't want to shade PlayStation today. It doesn't mean I won't.
I can because I own one, so I can. I'm a user.
But one of the fun things about these directs that I think we all kind of miss the E3 days, where if we couldn't gather in person, we gathered online. People were there at E3. We could all kind of celebrate these moments together. That's what we want to do, guys. It's not here for us to just be overly critical. For those that are, and I promise I'm gonna shut up after this. But those that remember us 90s kids and 80s babies, 80s kids, do you guys remember the show Cheers?
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows you. Okay, I can't say. That's kind of what I feel like whenever it's time for a direct or let's have a gathering so we could just be total nerds and geek out over the directs, the getting together with community, the anticipation, the hype, the fun, what's going to be shown, the discussions, what could be and what could have been. And the fact that we're getting so many good bangers now, I can only imagine when they finally really drop the trailer for the Dustbloods, for Elden Ring, when we get some of the bigger Final Fantasy games. Those things are coming. You just can't pull everything out. You can't show all your cards at the beginning. You just can't, because you never know what's going to be that game that's going to grab that person's attention that says, hey, that's a game that's worth buying the entire system for. So, okay, I'm sorry. One more thing and then I'm done. I promise. One of the main reasons I buy Nintendo is because I love Mario and Zelda. But let's say Nintendo only made Zelda games. That's it. System is worth it for me. I would buy the system, play my 5 Zelda games, and I would be totally happy. Just doesn't really work that way. That's the game that made me buy a system. So they give us this information when it's best, because you never know what game is going to be that gem, that Zelda for somebody else. Somebody who says that game looks so interesting, I really want to play it. I'm going to buy a system just to play that game. And that's what Nintendo wants, so they can kind of hook you in. And then they want you to say, oh, look at all these other games that we also offer on our platform. Because now that you have the system, you're probably more inclined to invest in it. So, yeah. Okay, I'm off my soapbox now, but A- for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well,
great review of a Nintendo Direct. And over to N64, Josh. So what are your thoughts of the overall Direct? What grade do you give it? And what was your highs? And what was your lows?
You know, the Direct was exactly what I expected. I expected to see not a whole lot for me, which was fine. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of dates. We didn't get dates that we were hoping for with like Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
You know. So that was a little bit of a bummer, kind of a shock. They did. I almost feel like they teased another Direct, or
they did.
Who knows? It could just be a Nintendo Today app Direct. But you know, saying more news is coming soon. Kind of like I don't know. It felt weird that they put Hyrule Warriors in there. There was no date, and we know we're gonna hear more. And then to say you're gonna hear more about it soon. So it was just like, it was a little bit of a like why is this here? You know what I mean? Not that I wasn't excited about seeing it, but like it showed us very little and didn't tell us when to expect it. And so I think that was a little bit of the wind, taking a little bit of the wind out of the sails, you know? So overall, the grade for me, I would give it like an 8 out of 10 or like a B. Like it was fun. I'm super excited for Madden. Like,
yeah.
The Switch 2 has been such a fantastic system for me right out of the gate, because Street Fighter 2 it was one of my first games when I got my Super Nintendo. So I have Street Fighter 6 on here. It just feels very Nintendo. I played so much Tony Hawk on the N64, so having Tony Hawk on the Switch 2 just feels right. And even yesterday we had the Direct, so it was a bit overshadowed, but Ninja Gaiden Ragebound launched yesterday. Now it does only run 30 frames even on Switch 2, unfortunately, and it runs at 60 on Xbox and PlayStation and PC, I believe. So there is that if that's a big deal breaker for you, but that game is fantastic. Like, I picked it up, started playing it. It is so good. And here's a little treat for you guys. Go on to NSO, try the very first game that's on NSO on the NES. First game to introduce cinematics, and what Ragebound essentially lets you play what was just a cinematic from the 80s. And so it's super cool. So it was a bit overshadowed because of the Direct. And so I do highly recommend grabbing that, especially if you love pixel art stuff. Just a little tangent there. But the HD 2D stuff, I don't really have fatigue for it. What I was expecting with this Direct is that there would be a lot of games that I just worry about having enough time to invest. That's really what it boils down to. When it comes to these bigger RPGs and stuff, it's like, it's a bit difficult. I loved Donkey Kong because I kind of played through it in like a week or less and had a great time with it. And I'm kind of finding that that's kind of the sweet spot. Sometimes these bigger RPGs they're a lot to. It's kind of like, it's almost like reading a book, and you just got to go, okay, I'm going to put like 2 hours into this an evening or 30 minutes before I go to bed, and it's just going to be a very long ride, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Elliot looked incredible. Made me want that team to make a Zelda game, and to see the Zelda IP get some love from Square, I think would be a fantastic move. And Chronos looked cool. I wish they had sold me on it just a little bit better. Like, I played Dead Space. I love Dead Space. I liked the weapons in Dead Space. The pistol in this game looked a little bit weak, but I think that's also part of what they're playing into, where it's like you're going to be more scared because you don't have much for an arsenal, So, not a bad thing. I just didn't. It just felt. I needed a little bit more to have it really sell me, because I'm like, why do I care about these characters? What's, it just kind of came out of the blue, and I don't know that for me personally that it showed super well. Like, I wanted to see more. I wanted to feel like I had a reason to really grab it. Shinobi looked great. EA showing up, dipping their toes in the water, getting their sports games, getting Plants vs. Zombies. That Monster Hunter game, the stories games never really pulled me in all that much. Like, I know they're kind of like a Pokemon style game. This looks to be a little bit more like it was giving some serious like Fire Emblem or Xenoblade vibes for me, and I was like, okay, I like it. Feels like this series within the series felt it looks a little more mature, which I think is great. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan of the like Rise and Sunbreak, like some of my favorite. I played a ton of Monster Hunter 3 with my son, like just very, very fond memories with Monster Hunter. So overall, like, I see the community's frustrations. I see, everybody wants more. We're in uncharted waters. We haven't been in this kind of situation. Like, Nintendo hasn't been in this kind of situation since like the Super Nintendo and kind of the 64 and kind of the GameCube.
Yep.
We ate so well the first like 4 to 5 years of Switch 1 because Nintendo did not have third party. Now they have third party. We gotta just wait and see what's going to happen there, and how they're going to navigate those waters. And this is how it happens, and we don't get as much first party as we want.
I agree. I think we are in a very different Nintendo than we were at the beginning of Nintendo Switch on Switch 2. And yeah, I think that has to do a lot with what we're seeing now. And thank you so much for that review of the Nintendo Switch Direct from yesterday. Great job, Josh. All right, so we have a topic two. Which is we're gonna go over topic two. What's happening with Nintendo recently with the price hikes. And we'll address that because I know you guys are worried about that. We'll just kind of go over that topic too. But before, I know a lot of you out there. I literally got yesterday got 30 messages. I got about 20 more today because I know everybody wants to know, or people wanted to make a video on what transpired with a certain fake leaker out there, right? And so I didn't make the video. Thank you guys, a lot of my viewers. Thank you for kind of talking me down and talking me back, so that it gives me time to think and to reflect and to bring it to you guys in the best way possible. Just because you guys know me, I'm not a controversial person. I don't get in the middle of issues and trials and tribulations and stuff like that. But I do see what's happening, and I did prepare a statement. Now I'm going to read it because I don't want to say anything outside of what I wrote. Okay. And then after that, the crew, they can choose whether they want to add to it, they want to say their own or say anything or not. It's up to them. Okay. And then after that, we're going to move on and go to our next topic and just continue the fun podcast. But I'm going to go and read it. Okay. And then after we move on, are you guys good? Crew? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read this statement right now. I'm trying to, and again, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want to make sure that I don't let my emotions take over. Because sometimes when you get your emotions take over, you say things you don't mean. And I've been a youth counselor before, right? I've worked with children with disabilities. I have a daughter with autism. I've been in the industry of mental health for the majority of my life, and so I can see things that maybe not everybody sees, and so I saw a lot of comments. This is not a big deal. This is not a big deal. This is not a big deal, and it's because a lot of people just didn't really see one little tiny part of the entire picture that caused all the commotion, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and read here. Let me go ahead and just kind of make it blind friendly and bring it to my eyes. All right, I'm reading. This is me reading. If you guys want to clip it and share it, it's okay because I'm trying to be. That's why I made this, because it's just in case it gets clipped and shared. I want to make sure that I'm as respectful as I can in this statement. All right. So I said, hey everyone, I want to address. Let me go ahead and turn off the music real quick because I can't focus. Music out here.
You can leave the music.
No.
Okay.
No. It just doesn't go. It's like it's in my ear, so I want to make sure that I read well.
I understand.
And I'll put it back.
No, you're fine.
Okay, let me see here. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna read. Okay. All right. Hey everyone, I wanted to address something close to our hearts. The recent situation with Beat 'em Up's fake Animal Crossing 2026 teaser from his Nintendo Direct leak experiment. This has stirred a lot of emotions in our Animal Crossing community, and I want to talk about it with care and understanding. I truly believe Wood didn't mean to cause pain. His focus was likely on exploring how rumors spread online, and he may not have realized how deeply an Animal Crossing tease would hit. As creators, it's easy to miss the full emotional weight of something so dear to us. And I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's a fellow gamer who shares our passion, and I don't think he intended to hurt anyone. But We need to recognize the real harm this cost. Animal Crossing New Horizon was a lifeline during the pandemic, a time of fear, isolation, and loss. For many, it was more than just a cozy game. It was a safe haven where we built islands with friends, found routine in chaos, and connected with the world, connected when the world fell apart. Doctors even recommended it to patients, with studies like one from Oxford in 2020 showing it reduced stress and boosted mental health by fostering creativity and connection. For some, it was a way to spend precious moments with loved ones, like myself, with siblings, parents, friends who we lost during COVID, others in tragedies. Those shared islands, those late nights, the fishing, the chats, those villagers' letters, they're sacred memories. When Animal Crossing in 2026 teaser announced, it sparked hope for a new chapter to revisit that comfort or honor those we lost. Learning it was fake hit hard. On X, one fan shared, AC got me through 2020. AC got me through 2020 when my dad was in the hospital. This fake teaser broke my heart all over again. Another wrote, I played with my sister before she passed from COVID. Sorry. I thought this new game would let me feel close to her, but it was a lie. These stories show how this wasn't just disappointment. It reopened wounds for those who see Animal Crossing as a piece of their survival or tie to someone gone. The pain is real, and your feelings matter. Let's move forward with compassion. I believe Wood didn't see how much this would hurt, especially for a community that holds Animal Crossing so close. But let's remember the power of this community. You've turned a game about planting flowers into a space for healing, connection, and love. You've made memories for lost loved ones, hosted virtual weddings, and built islands that carry your stories. Let's keep that spirit alive. Keep sharing, supportive, and creating together. This moment doesn't define us. Our hope, our resilience, and our love for this game do. You make Animal Crossing a home for all of us. And together, we keep building new memories that shine brighter than any hurt. Thank you for being the heart of this incredible community. And I'll just leave somebody take over.
Do any of you guys have anything to say? Because if you don't, you know I do. I agree with everything Mike just said, but I want to talk more about integrity. Sometimes I'm not going to sit here and act like I watch Wood and I have a good feel for who he is or anything. I only know what I see spiritually, and I'm not going to get all into that because this is not a let's beat up on a content creator kind of podcast. Mike knows what I think. Mm-hmm. But now that I've slept on it, sometimes it really is just a prank. Sometimes the mortgage is due.
Yeah.
Ever had some bills due, don't know how to pay it, got a family now, might have to do some things you may not feel like doing. Yeah, that can happen. But when it comes to integrity, it's kind of like that saying, not all money is good money.
Mm-hmm.
Not all pranks are funny. He may not have had regardless of what I think, let's just assume that he didn't have any nefarious intent. Let's assume that. I want to believe that. Nothing's more insulting than being purposely gaslit and then told there's something wrong with you for believing it. That's what I have a big problem with. He basically purposely gaslit an entire, not just his community, but the Nintendo community, the gaming community, and then acts like we're the crazy ones because we're excited. If he feels bad, great. Maybe he learned his lesson. But I do know that he's done something like this before. And I don't feel great about somebody who does have a trusted platform, or not trusted, or a larger platform. And even though it seemed like a joke and kind of fun and everything, that's what gaming is. There was no reason for people not to believe him. And I know people say, well, it's because it's what you want to hear. I don't think it's because we want to hear. I can tell you guys all day a new 3D Zelda's coming, a new 3D Mario's coming. I don't know when, I don't know the title. I don't know. But I think that's kind of normal to expect those things at the brand new start of a new system. But yeah, don't, excuse me, but I'm going to say it like this. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't do that. Don't look at us like we're the crazy ones because we believed you. Just like you weren't crazy when you were 5 and your mom told you Santa Claus brought you all your presents. Don't do that. And the last thing I'm going to say about integrity as a whole is, let's just say in an alternate universe, Wood got lucky. And everything, all those wild, games that he put out, Animal Crossing, all those things. Let's just say that they all were just true. He just got real lucky, and we got a General Direct, and everything he named was all in there. Would he admit, hey guys, I really was just trying to prank. I really was just trying to do a social experiment. This just happens to be a crazy coincidence. I guess we'll never know. But the trust is kind of broken. I'm not interested in his channel or anything he really has to say about anything. Not that I necessarily ever was, because I didn't really know much about him. But now it's kind of like, I got a couple of recommendations and I'm like, yeah, you do you, boo, over there. So that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else before we move on?
What was I know Animal Crossing was one of the things he brought up. There was another game that he mentioned that was coming out too. And when I was watching his video today, I realized, I referenced that as a rumor. Like it was, like it is pretty crazy how fast this stuff all spreads and how hungry everybody is for new content.
Yeah. And what people fail to see is not the number of games he put out there, but what games. Because I remember growing up, right? And there's this song. I remember this song by Stevie Wonder. That's what friends are for. And I used to listen to it when I was with my cousin, right? My cousin passed away. That song is mine, and I hear it and I think about my cousin, right? That song is special to me, right? And so every one of us, I can tell everyone in this podcast has something, a song, a game, a shirt, an item that is special to them because it reminds them of a moment in time or of a loved one or something, right? And for a lot of people, more than people know, Animal Crossing was that. That's why I said, look, maybe he didn't know because he just mentioned the game. But and that's why I say, I have to be careful with the Animal Crossing community, just because I was a counselor and I know during 2020, I know because I went through that and I was a counselor during that time. I know how heavy that game is for a lot of people, and how for us it's just a game, but for somebody else it's that song that reminds them of a person they lost during that time. You know, is that memory that created with the loved one. And it's, you know, we have to be careful as content creators, especially when we have an audience that large. You know, why did you believe us? Well, you never do this before. We you know, you are a family friendly channel. I can tell you, beat 'em ups was a big influence on why I created the Mike Odyssey channel. When I first started, I looked up to his channel and saw that the wholesome content he used to create back in the day, and I said, you know, I want to start a channel like that because I want a channel where my kids can actually watch, and my little nephews and nieces can watch, and they do actually. They watch this channel a lot. And so it was a letdown for me, but like I said, I'm giving them all the benefit of the doubt that they didn't know. It was just an experiment they wanted to do, and they dropped the ball with it, you know. And so you know, I'm a Christian man. I forgive and I move on, and I don't hold grudges or anything like that. But I can't also say that I don't feel for the community out there who, you know, who endured for the long time that the rumor was out there, and that hope. Oh my God, we're gonna see Isabel, and you know, it lasted for a long time. It only happened until the direct happened that he came out with the video. He could have came out before when he saw that the rumor was taking flight. He could have just stopped it right there, but he let it go all the way until the direct happened, and nothing showed of what was said. You know, so. We're gonna leave it there. That's everything. That's the only thing I'm gonna say on that matter. I just wanted to address it because so many people approached and wanted to know what I thought and I felt. And so it's recorded. It's there. You can rewind or whatever. But I think we should move forward to the next topic, and we're gonna just spend just a couple minutes only on this topic. And short recap: Nintendo. Over the past, I would say, well, today they just released a statement that their pricing for their Nintendo Switch, the old model, right? We can call it the past console because it is. The Nintendo Switch, the Lite, and the OLED will get price increases when we were all waiting for that price decrease. Right? I'm like, and we talked about it, Paul, all the time. Paul, when that price decrease comes, they're gonna hit that mark where they're gonna hit that 150. They're gonna outsell PlayStation 2 when that price decrease comes. I'm like, and today they actually increased the pricing for the Nintendo Switch base, the Lite version, the base model, and the OLED. And I think they mentioned due to world conditions or whatever, or due to U.S. conditions that they weren't saying, they didn't say world conditions. They said U.S. conditions. The new pricing for the Nintendo Switch Lite is $320, right? $220, right? $220 from $199. The new pricing for the base model is $340, right? Am I correct? $339, something like that. And then the OLED model is $400, $399. And of course you have to add the tax to that. So of course, you know, you'll get a little more than that. So price increase across the board for the older system, which you would think that the older system is something they want to clear out from their inventory, but apparently not. Apparently they want to keep selling them, you know. With that, let me go ahead and recap really quickly everything that's happening this week. We have 2 Nintendo Switch games with 2025 dates with no release dates. Metro Prime 4, and the other one is Kirby, right? Kirby Air Riders. That's the other one for the tier, right?
Yep.
Let's see what else we got there. The price hike. Again?
I was still on mute. I'm sorry.
He's on mute.
I've been on mute for a while and I didn't realize it. Go ahead.
Oh, you're mute. You were muted.
Yeah. Just don't mind the crazy old lady in the corner over here. Just
happens to the best of us, Joycey. So
I hope it's gonna be all right.
So we have 4 games. 4 games without dates. The 2 we want to focus on is the 2 that have a 2025 release date. 2 of them, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and Kirby Air Riders. The reason why people are worried, mostly for Metroid Prime 4, is because the more we get into the year, this is, guys, we're in August 1st. Next month is September, then October. We're in it. We're in that second half of the year, right?
Yeah.
And by this time, every other year, we already know like what game is coming September, October, November, December, and if December has one. And the important part was for Metroid was getting a release date and then starting that promotional period for them, that push, right? And I think that's just the worry, right? And it's not that they're gonna go ahead and say, "Oh, Metroid Prime 4 is gonna come in September." I hope not. Like, we're in August, September next month. How is that push gonna work? You know, how much time are you gonna spend convincing people to get it? You know, so Metroid Prime 4 is the major worry because of the promotional push. You know, hopefully, if we do get a Nintendo Direct, hopefully they dedicate enough time to it. Maybe we get a Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Direct, 15 minutes of just what they did with Donkey Kong Bonanza. That was brilliant. What they did with DK. Maybe do it with Metroid too. And so we have the release dates. We have the price hikes. If we put that together with Nintendo holding back the price at the beginning of of June, right? June 5th. And what else? I'm looking at the. Let me look at the thingy here. Looking at the thingy. Hold up. Come on. Okay. This is acting up.
Are you looking at the notes?
I'm looking at the notes. Yeah. But the thing is that I put my in order to look at the notes, I make the screen really big. And then I'm trying to zoom out, but I can't. I can't. All right. Okay. So yeah, we got the games without dates. We have the price hikes. And we had a direct yesterday, but that didn't address like the Nintendo first party. And then for this question, I want to get just a statement from the cast on why this could be. And I'm going to add, because I just had a last question here. Is Nintendo's strategy changing now that bigger third-party titles are in the mix? Because, you know, I know this was mentioned earlier in the podcast. We didn't have big titles like Madden before. You know, Madden is a major title. You know, we didn't have major titles like Final Fantasy Remake, you know, in the mix. And does this influence Nintendo's lineup? Because before, I feel like Nintendo maybe was a little bit kind of pressured into having a game every single month, but this time around, because of the how big the support is, maybe they don't have to release a game every single month. You know, maybe they could say, hey, we have a huge game coming out, Madden, in November. You know, we're good with that. You know, and moving forward. So I'm gonna start with Paul, because I know Paul has to go in just a bit. So, what do you think is happening with Nintendo? Why the price hike? Why the lack of information when it comes to the release dates? Is there any issue with the Metroid Prime or promotional? Who is that?
That's Peach.
Hi, Peach.
Peach.
They want to say hi. You want to come up? You want to come up? Oh, she wants me to chase her.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Price hike wise, I think it's Nintendo's non-political way of saying tariffs. You know, not to get into politics and that thing, and just say current climate issues and stuff like that. It's safer to say. Or what?
I don't think Peach agrees.
We're talking. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, why don't you come up and then talk? She just wants me to play. She just wants me to play right now. Really fun. Peach is down here.
Peach is good.
They want to see you. Okay, I'm getting distracted. Tariffs and stuff like that is causing Nintendo to have to raise prices. Now, on the one hand, you could say, well, shouldn't the profit margins be greater 8 years later than it was like back in 2017, 19, 21, respectively, when Switch Lite, Switch OLED came out? Yes, but tariffs still got to do their job, and it's still going to affect Nintendo's bottom line, etc. So it's tricky business, unfortunately, but that is why they're having the price hikes, I believe, 8 years into the system's life, instead of a price reduction, which would really be beneficial at a time like this to help quicken when Nintendo Switch will eventually hit 160 million. Because, as we got sales data last night, they're getting closer and closer. But anyhow, what was the other part of that? It was why aren't they doing release dates yet for their...
Let me ask you a follow-up question to that, though. Because wouldn't it make sense if they had a price reduction already scheduled to just leave the price the same instead of reducing it? Because if they have a trend on reducing the price at some point for their older systems, wouldn't it make sense to just leave the price where it's at because of the tariffs instead of reducing them or even bringing them up?
It looks like they did not have the intention of dropping the price.
There you go. Yeah.
Maybe they had the intention of doing a holiday price drop. You know what I mean? Like maybe this holiday season, they're like, all right, Nintendo Switch Lite is going to be $170. Nintendo Switch is going to be $250, and the Nintendo Switch OLED model is going to be $300. So it's not a huge drop. 170, 250, 300. That's just decent though. But maybe that wasn't until December, you know what I mean? To have a big impact. Or if a quarter started to be a little bit lackluster, that's when you have this in February of 2026 or something like that. So I guess, because you could say, hey, if they were on the verge of doing a price drop August 15th, why not just let those two options? No, I don't think so in that case. And then the other part was
release dates. Why are they taking so long in the Metro? At least the Metroid Prime 4. Corby Riders was not as Metroid Prime 4. And how is this going to affect if they just do like because they haven't released a new trailer, not even shadow drop a trailer online on Twitter or anything like that. Is just like no mention of Metroid Prime 4 beyond the beginning of the Switch 2 promotional period where we played it at the experience and the treehouse.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is kind of the weird one. I get why they didn't give the release date back in June of 2024 when they finally showed the game off for the first time after showing it off for the first time. In theory, the title at least at E3 2017. Like, I get why they didn't do it then, because so many of us were speculating, hey, this might be a launch game for Nintendo Switch 2, or it might be a dual release. And if they gave the release date prematurely, it would have told us, so Nintendo Switch 2 is definitely coming out no earlier than that, probably, etc. So that was the initial thought. The other thought, kind of going into like September, into December, even into the beginning of this year when they finally showed off like the Nintendo Switch 2 version, is one, there is the possibility of it potentially slipping to like January, February. So instead of delaying it from a set month or a set date by a calendar year, means it could have hypothetically been a December game, so it doesn't look that bad by coming out in January or February saying, it's only delayed by 2 months. But then again, wouldn't you just have said, I don't know. It's just a little bit weird because I'm trying to wrap my head around just why. And would more people be disappointed to have the date taken from them and have another date a couple months later? Or less disappointed or more disappointed, depending on what you're asking, if it was a calendar year delayed from 25 to 26, but never given a date in the first place. So you're like, in your own head, you could have made up your own date of like, oh, late 25, and then now it's early 26. But that's not the thing. Nintendo still says 2025.
Mm-hmm.
In all of their like, when is it set? They didn't delay it.
Yeah.
So the why, maybe there's something behind the scenes that we don't know. Like there is some significant Call of Duty on the way, or Doom Dark Ages coming, or Halo. And how would that impact Metroid? Maybe Nintendo is trying to strategically put Metroid not before, not during, not after some opposition, big third-party, first-person shooter type game, so that everybody could enjoy the limelight.
Yeah.
But still, it's a weird one, man. Like,
yeah,
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is the mystery for me. Why no quarter? Why no date? I understood originally because it might give off Nintendo Switch 2's date, but that's not even the thing, because this game is not going to come out until at least 3 months after Nintendo Switch 2, and that's if it comes out in September. I sure don't think it's coming out this month. I think it's like an October, November game. I don't know. Anyways, that's a long ramble on just Metroid Prime 4. It's just weird things. As far as the other games, Kirby Air Riders, I think they'll wait for a Nintendo Direct proper, or they'll utilize their Nintendo News Daily app, which might be the answer for the Metroid thing. Maybe they want to incentivize more people to be downloading their Nintendo News app because, hey, this thing gave you the Zelda news announcement, this of the movie. This thing gave you this. It's also giving you the first place to that. So could that be enough of a reason to be kind of holding on to a little bit closer to the chest these release dates? I mean, even Hyrule Warriors, Age of Imprisonment.
Yeah.
Winter is anywhere from mid to late December all the way to like March 22nd or something like that. So winter. I don't know. But I think without knowing exactly why, I think it does go back a little bit to my earlier thought on Nintendo being very careful with strategically placing their games and even giving too much attention to when the games might be coming out of respect for their third-party partners to not overshadow them. Because if people are allocating their budgets and saying, oh, now I'm definitely putting my pre-order cash towards this game, or I'm saving up my money for this game, for Metroid, maybe I will pass on other third-party games that are similar around that time. There's some of that. It's a little bit off.
Yeah. So basically, the you agree with the following statement that the increase in third-party support with all these big major games will influence Nintendo's first-party release schedule. Like we might not have like an every single month of the year like we did during the Switch when we had less support.
Yeah, first, I don't think Nintendo's going to have the same output as it did on Nintendo Switch. I mean, I think they even said that with development costs rising and 4K HD development being bigger and, demanding of more resources, we are expecting less output in frequency than before. I'm paraphrasing that quote, but it was given to us several months ago, something along those lines, which is something that I thought up as well. I mean, I saw it big time influence when Nintendo went from Wii to Wii U. They took all the way till 2010 to enter HD 1080p development. Everybody else started back in 2004. Ubisoft, Capcom, Konami, Sony, Microsoft, Activision, EA, everyone back in 04 or 03 with Xbox 360. Even if it was like a 720p machine, it was still greater assets than Wii as a 480p console. So Wii U was some growing pains, and you saw how long it took games to come out. They were amazing, but they were further between. Nintendo doesn't want to falter, so I think that they're going to have a little bit of a more carefully thought out execution of third parties, and when they place their own first, and when they decide to use their backlog to say, now's a good time for a remaster, now's a good time for a compilation, now's a good time for an NSO drop. So basically, never have a drought on the system, even if it's a drought of new mega releases. We won't feel it because in between are quality third parties and quality ports, remasters from yesteryear of Nintendo's, you know? So yeah, I think it's all jumbled in there. It's interesting. Nintendo is a tough one to predict. For as much as you know and study them and look at their past, sometimes they do this. You can look at the trajectory like this, and sometimes, boom, you get a curveball.
Yeah, and we can't forget that Nintendo Switch 2 just launched 2 months ago. It hasn't been that far. It hasn't been that long ago. So, yeah. What do you think, Josh?
Well, kind of to piggyback on what Paul was saying, the Switch literally thrived off of Wii U remakes.
Yeah.
You know, their top selling game was a Wii U remake, right? Breath of the Wild was a Wii U game. And so you can't follow a successful console the same way, because you don't have, unless you're gonna pull a Sony and start remaking remakes like real quick, right? Doing their remasters and their remakes that like nobody really wants that, right? We want new content. So this time around, third parties have to be it. If you think about it, since the launch of the Switch 2, Tony Hawk, I mentioned Ninja Gaiden, we've got 2K wrestling, you know, the WWE 2K, like, plus all the launch games. It's not like there's not games there, but Mario Kart eats up 6 million of the 8 million units of software being sold. And that tells you quite the story that Nintendo fans are still here for Nintendo first party. So if you are not a Switch 2 only household, you're probably already played, or if the Switch wasn't you've probably played the majority of the stuff that's already been released. And if you're a WWE fan, and you have an Xbox or a PlayStation, you're probably picking that game up there. You're probably playing Tony Hawk on Game Pass, right? That's just what's happening. And so it's so interesting to sit back and just watch all this unfold, because we're in uncharted waters. And if you are a hardcore Nintendo fan and are not willing to branch out and start playing some other things, we could experience very much what it was like on the Wii U. And those were some rough years. There were some rough years where it was like, we got nothing. Like, I think Pikmin ended up getting delayed. That was supposed to be like the saving grace one year, and that didn't come out, you know? So we're in a strange time. Are the tariffs what's affecting the release dates? Because when these games hit retail, is that going to change the price even more? Like, what's going on there? I just checked the eShop. Metroid doesn't have I don't even think it doesn't have a price. Can't pre-order it yet.
Didn't they do the ESRB thingy like in was it Brazil or something like that? Something it was rated.
So yeah, but on the North American eShop, it's the rating pending.
Okay.
No price.
Okay.
No, it just says 2025.
I see.
Right.
Okay, you're right. So maybe the tariffs in the United States are kind of affecting what they decide to price the game, and maybe that's what's delaying them even announcing release dates, kind of seeing how things work out. Can you imagine an $80 game?
Right. And the other thing is, like, as far as the price of the consoles going up, they've been consoles sitting on store shelves for quite some time. Like, they haven't been lacking. They haven't been lacking switches, switch lights, any of that stuff.
Oh yeah, my local Target is full of them, full of them.
Yeah, I mean, I even saw like 7 Switch 2s on the shelf at Target just the other day. So I don't know all the ins and outs with this stuff, but if they have to essentially back charge, right, for stuff like depending on how these tariffs work, like that's coming out of Target's bottom line if we're just using them as the retailer. So then the prices have to go up on that end. Also, keep in mind, Target dropped the price outside of what Nintendo even recommended last holiday. You could get like an OLED for like $279 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so there was some leeway there.
They cut from their own profits to kind of
move
product.
Yeah. And so I was shocked when Xbox did this. I mean, you're talking about the least successful console manufacturer right now.
Yeah.
Raising the Series X to like what, $600, $700, something crazy, almost the price of a PS5 Pro. And it's just like it's shocking because most people, I think we're assuming we'd see a Nintendo Select line. They would drop the price of all the older Switches to move more units, keep investors happy, keep the money flowing, but also give opportunity for those less fortunate to like get in, to get into Nintendo gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And now that's not happening. It's become more difficult. And I guess I'm kind of shocked without really totally understanding, because I understand I'm just a guy sitting here on a microphone talking about this stuff because I enjoy it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like for the amount of systems that are out there and that are going to be sold, they could have just kept the prices the same and ate that difference.
Yeah.
At the very least, and say, hey, we aren't racing. That's a much better story for marketing wise. Like, hey, we were going to lower the prices by $50, but now we can't due to tariffs. So we're just going to keep prices the same, and we're going to eat those costs or whatever, however they end up wording it, whatever. But like, just to see the prices going up is it's crazy.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say before Josie, it paints a picture of who's in charge, and they're both financing people. Doug Bowser and Furukawa, they're both financing people. They're not the creative type like Reggie and Iwata were. Go ahead, Josie.
I don't have much to say on this except I will say I kind of low-key rather them up the price on Switch 1 due to tariffs and oh my god, somebody said Starbucks.
Where?
Boo Minnie's teasing me. Girl, you threw me off my game. I'd rather them up the price of the Switch 1 than make the Switch 2 higher price. And I hope people understand, Nintendo is a business.
Yeah.
The developers want us to feel good. Nintendo's lawyers, Nintendo's employee paychecks, Nintendo's finance and everything, they're not interested in our feelings. They're interested in how they can sell us things. Okay. So I don't take it personal. I know people are upset, but I don't take it personal. Now, if you want to know how I feel about our current administration, we'll have to go to another channel for that. But
yeah,
it's not all Nintendo's fault. It's not all other companies' faults that certain things are going up. That it's not only the current administration. I got to be 100% fair, but they're a good part of it. And I'll leave it at that. But I think it's almost like Nintendo said, we can't eat the cost of everything and keep doing the things that we do. They got bills too. It's also a little bit easier for me to talk about this when it's luxury items. When we talk about the cost of eggs, that kind of makes me angry. And gas, that makes me angry. Those types of things make me angry. But I'd rather them put the extra cost on an older system, because then if you're somebody who does want to get a Nintendo Switch and you are on a budget, one of the things you look at when you're on a budget is, do I want to save an extra couple hundred and just get the beefier system, or do I want to pay extra for the old system that, yes, has a lot of games, is still going to be fine, but I might as well just get the new thing. I think Nintendo is very pleased with the success of Switch 1, and they're willing to say, we can throw the Switch 1 under the bus, add some money to it. No, nobody will care. They'll just buy the new one. Because there was so much controversy for whatever reason when Switch 2 came out at the price it was, because I knew it was going to be a higher price. So I'd rather... and then also, they're kind of only making a few bucks off of the Nintendo system, the Switch 2 anyway. After it's all said and done, they're only making a few bucks off of that anyway. So they're eating a lot of cost already. So I'm not... It just, unfortunately, guys, this is the way of the world. When it comes, and again, I will stand on this hill. Luxury is going to luxury. Basic cost of living should not be ridiculous. You should not be fighting for your life every time you go to the grocery store, every time you try to fill up your gas in your car, every time you're trying to pay your rent, your mortgage. You should not be fighting for your life and trying to decide where your money can go. That is what I have a big problem with. But yeah, that's enough. I'm done. Y'all get it.
Sadly, it's been the case for years now. So, hopefully things get better soon. And yeah.
Can we please have back like 3% APR? Okay, I'm done.
All right. So before we start our Q&A, which by the way, we can't take too many questions, I'm going to put a limit at 10. I'm going to go ahead and let Paul. Let him introduce. Well, you guys know Paul. He's gonna tell you what he got going on this week and where you can find him, because he has to step out, and be with his family, his doggy, his wife, and everything, and help with homework and stuff. So, go ahead, Paul. Take it over.
Yeah, I'm not doing any countdowns right now, but I have a couple of different possibilities in the near future, including one developer that reached out and talked to me. So. The next one that I do might be coming soon, but no guaranteed anything yet. But they're not done. They're not done for. It's just nothing immediately going on now. But I'm still on YouTube, so if you want to check out video game news here and there, some unboxings, and some martial arts and fitness advice and related videos and skits like that, on YouTube, at Paul Gale Network, and over on X, also known formerly as Twitter, I'm doing video game sales and just other video game news generally. If you haven't already seen today's list that Nintendo put up of how many Nintendo Switch units sold in the last quarter, how many Nintendo Switch 2 units sold in the first 25 days of existence. I mean, probably by now you've seen it because it's all over the place. But if you want one more place to look, you can come over on my page at Paul Gale Network there too. So thank you.
Can you do a countdown to your next countdown?
A countdown to the next countdown.
Can you do a countdown to your next countdown?
Maybe that would be a funny one. Countdown to the next countdown, and what the countdown will be revealed that day, which will kick off a new countdown. That's actually funny. I wonder how many people
pay me later
countdown for the next countdown. Huh?
That is hilarious. That's
a good idea. All right. Take care, everybody.
Good night, Paul.
All right, Paul, take care.
Good night, Peach.
I gotta bounce too, guys. I'm sorry.
Somewhere.
Well, tell them where you're going, who you are, and how we can follow you.
Where are we going?
Yeah, I guess I'm in 64 Josh everywhere. I host the Nintendo Powercast. Love hanging out with you guys every week. It's a highlight, and so really, really grateful for that. And yeah, if you guys want to get involved with anything I'm doing, Wednesdays we do an NSO game of the week. This week's game is A Link to the Past. So if you want to, yeah. So if you want to play along, I also do a retro time trials in Mario Kart World called Pipe Trials. And so the only rule is you have to use the pipe frame. You can use any character, but it's got to be the pipe frame. And our track for this month is DK Pass. So if you want to get some racing, and I'm trying to get some creators involved, so I'm looking at you, Mike, Joycey, Paul. So
I owe you one, and you know that.
You guys. So yeah. So again, appreciate you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next week.
All right. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Paul.
Bye.
All right. I think we got some questions to answer already. Do we?
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Let me stop for YouTube get mad and says I'm singing violent songs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry.
For real. They will do that.
They will do that.
Pokemon fan says, I know Kirby, Air Riders, and Metroid Prime 4 got raided in other countries. What? That's horrible. They got raided by the police?
Mike, that says rated. R-A-T.
They got raided in other countries. I'm like, what? No. How can they be possible? So nice.
There's nobody that's trying to raid and won't show you a badge. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
All right. Will you do more streams of playing with viewers? Yes, I will.
I'm marking questions too if you want to go through those too.
Okay. Then topics true. Back to school is a few weeks away and the gossip is about to start. Woo! For each of you, if you were back to school, what is the game you were talking about on the blacktop? I will be talking about Age of Calamity. Wait, no, Age of Imprisonment. Is it Age of something? Yeah.
He's saying back in school, so I think he means us back in our day.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what he meant.
Okay. Well, just let me look at. I don't remember what year I was in high school. It was so long.
So I'm going to answer this while Mike thinks about it a little bit more. The sad thing about when I was a kid is my mom did. Okay, so my parents were divorced when I was 2. So my mom was like, "Oh my goodness, games are the devil. Don't play that devil stuff." So then I go over to my dad's house where all the devil stuff was. The music and everything. That's why I love music so much. So he had the NES. So I could only play video games when I was at his house. So when I got back to school, unfortunately, I went to a kind of school where everybody was more focused on being cool and whatnot. So Zelda wasn't cool yet in my neck of the woods. So unfortunately, I was not talking to anybody about my games. But there were those weekends when I was at my dad's and on my dad's side of the family, those are all my cousins that are my age. So, and then I had all boy cousins. And so they all like video games. So yeah. I wasn't on the blacktop, unfortunately, discussing games. I was with my cousins. And so we would play Sonic a lot. Not my favorite. I'm sorry. They weren't really into Zelda. We would play Ninja Gaiden, and but one of my best memories is my older brother. I have a brother who's about 10 years older than me. So when I was little, and he wasn't as little, but he was younger, Contra was the game that we beat together. And if you have played Contra on the NES, you know that game is brutal. Okay, until you play it a couple times and you learn the patterns. But that game was brutal. So it was so awesome that me and my big brother finished Contra, and I had somebody to talk about it with. So, and now my little girl, the little girl inside me that was all alone playing games and quit for a long time, came back as an adult. And now I can sit here and talk with Mike every single week about games.
All right, so I remember where I was. High school for me was from 95 to like 99. And around that time, I can't remember specifically, but around that time, I was playing either Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo 64, and Super Mario World was my favorite game in Nintendo SNES, and of course Mario 3 on Nintendo. But the games that I was playing NBA Hang Time on Nintendo 64, Mario Kart 64. And Kobe courtside from Kobe Bryant's courtside. Kobe rip.
That still hurt.
Yeah, it does. It was like so freaking shocking. Like
was like, who made that rumor up? When that was.
And then Kobe left, and then COVID came. It was like right the same year. Crazy.
That was 2020 was just a bad year. We just shouldn't
started
talk
off
about
bad
it anymore.
Started off bad. Ken Griffey. I used to play Ken Griffey Jr. a lot, baseball with my brothers. What else did I play on Nintendo 64? Tony Hawk. I did Tony Hawk. I used to play a game called College Slam. It's like an NBA game, but with college games. WWF games. What else did I play? Wave Race 64. That's it. And I think a snowboarding game. I can't remember the game. Snowboarding something, 80-10 or something. That's it. Other than that, hanging out outside playing basketball with my friends.
Nice. When we read a couple other ones, or you want me to read them, or you want to read them?
Yeah, you can read them. Like whatever.
I want you to rest.
Whatever's left. Yeah.
Okay. I just want you to rest a little bit.
Heck yeah.
That is not the right thing, Joyce. Pokemon fan 34. Mike and Joycey, if we don't get a normal one this month or next month, should we panic? No.
Yes, panic. Just
okay, you know what? I'll just dive. You know what? If you can't beat them, join them. Yes, we should panic. We should panic. The world is going to end. Taylor Swift and Beyonce are going to stop being friends, and they're never going to go on tour again. Let's see here. Jesus going to change his mind and not come back.
Wait, he's not. They're not friends. They're not friends. Taylor Swift and Beyonce.
Say what?
They're not friends.
No, they are. I'm just making up devastating things that would never.
They're besties. They're besties.
They are actually.
Nah, I can almost guarantee there's some sort of presentation next month, or Nintendo app.
Because I was gonna say something about that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nintendo app, because I think the biggest game of the year is Pokemon Legends Arizona, and it's already have a date on October. And I think for the other games, they could just shadow drop a date for Metroid, say November, and then put the other one, Kirby Air Rider, for next month in September, and then we're done with the year. They don't even have to come back.
I thought it was Pokemon ZA.
Arizona.
ZA. ZA?
Pizza.
Yeah. I thought, it's not about pizza.
It's pizza and it has Arizona. I like to call it Arizona. It's better Arizona.
But just in case we don't get a general direct again for the remainder of the year, totally panic. Everything's going to just be terrible.
Yeah.
There will be no more Starbucks ever for anyone.
They will increase the price of the Nintendo Switch again.
Yeah, they'll increase the price of the Switch again. So then, like, the old Switch is going to totally cost way more than the new Switch.
Yeah.
Dogs and cats living together. It's going to be total madness.
It'll be bad.
There's nothing but, guys, everything's going to be fine. It's a 2-month-old system. We've already had 2 big directs. They're not going to stop, guys. Nintendo like money too much.
Yeah. Another thing that could happen is that wait, did we get any date announced yesterday? I have to go back and look.
Yesterday for what?
For at the partner showcase. Because if we got dates announced for the gap months, like for September and November and December of this year, any of those games, Nintendo's going to rely a lot on third-party support, like a big third, so that they can have little breaks for first party. So if that's
I
the
don't think
case,
we're gonna get any real breaks. Do you think so?
I think because the games are bigger than they've ever been. You know, the third party support is bigger. Like Final Fantasy Remake is a huge game, and it's already on their website that it's coming to Switch too.
There you go. The other thing, I was gonna say, and I meant to say this because, but I know we had to say goodnight to Paul and Josh, but I stand on this. I believe the reason I do believe we're going to get a direct, a general one, or at least first party or whatever, is because I think they're going to go all out for Metroid Prime 4. So I think the next direct we're going to get, since it's supposed to be coming out this year, I think we're going to get a bigger, juicy trailer. And then I really think we're going to get Metroid Prime 4 is going to get its own direct, because I'm not wild. I've told y'all this. I haven't been wild about the way they're handling the marketing of Metroid, but I think that's what Nintendo's kind of doing. Hey, focus on this big game. Yeah, focus on Mario Kart. Yay, yeah, DK's coming and these other games, but yay, Mario Kart. And then when it was Donkey Kong's turn, yay, look at Donkey Kong. Look at Donkey Kong. Yeah, Hyrule Warriors is coming, but look at Donkey Kong. You know, I think that's just kind of how Nintendo does it. So thank you, Poke. Boo Mini, for both of us, can we as a community donate money to buy Joycey DK Bonanza, because I think she'll actually really like the game. I'm a little weird about people I don't know very, very well giving me things, but I know your heart in everything. So if you guys
just give it to me and I'll give it to her.
Yeah, if you guys send Mike a gift for me, he will get it to me. And yes, I will play it, because I'm so moved that somebody would buy a game for me. For those who didn't hear my rant about this before, I have it's my own issues. I'm not wild about monkeys, gorillas.
Yeah.
For reasons. But if somebody but I understand it's just a game. And if somebody buys it for me, that you buy me something, I will play it, because I'm just so honored that somebody bought me something. I think it's sweet. Yeah. So thank you for even thinking of me. No pressure. Nobody, please don't buy me anything. Don't do that. But I really love that you thought of me. Shout out to Lottie. Lottie says, for all of us, do you have a favorite Mario voice actor that you cherish when you play the game?
Charles Martinet, all the way. Charles Martinet.
I want to be very honest. I do. Voice acting is a little bit different when it's characters. It doesn't bother me as much. People move on. People get older. Different things happen. I do get attached to real life people. Y'all have heard I love Janet Jackson. You know, that's been my girl since I was a child. I'm attached to somebody I get my parasocial relationship or whatever. I'm attached to artists that are real. So when an artist that I care about, you know, passes away or something of that, that's something that bums me out for a day. Yeah. I'm just glad that that we are giving newer people a chance to, you know, somebody new we can kind of fall in love with. So it's okay. It's okay. And shout out to Adam Brush. Mike, this is for you. Why do you think Nintendo did a partner showcase instead of a general direct? There's so many games to be revealed and have release dates. I think we kind of touched on that a bit.
Yeah. I something happened internally. Right now, I'm at the Final Fantasy VII Remake website, and if I click on the Nintendo Switch 2 logo, it goes to the partner direct from yesterday. But Final Fantasy VII Remake wasn't there. So, I feel like there's something happened behind the scenes. I think yesterday's direct should have been bigger. Maybe it was the first party and third party direct, and they decided to make it a smaller direct and just call it a partner showcase. I think it should have been bigger. It's weird. If you go out on Square Enix and you click on the Switch 2 logo, it goes directly to the partner showcase from yesterday, but they weren't they weren't there. You know, so something must have happened behind the scenes, and things change all the time, right? And they say, you know what, we already have a game for August. Let's wait for September, and then we'll have Final Fantasy Remake there with the big direct with the first party games. Because I believe that there are certain games that they're not going to show in partner directs. They're going to show them more in general directs. The bigger the game, I think the more they want to make sure that they have it together with their first party to show that they have they value those games as much as they do their first party.
Nobody values their first party more than Nintendo.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I mean this with I don't have the shade fan out, so I mean this with nothing but just honest, no shade.
Yeah.
I love third-party games as well. I just haven't met a game yet that said, "Ooh, I have to run out and buy a PlayStation. I have to run out and buy a new PC or anything like that." But I think it's a fair question that we can ask. Why are all the Nintendo first-party games doing a little bit better than others?
Yep.
First party. Something to think about.
Just the physicality.
Solomon Battle, shout out to you. Mike, this is for you as well. Do you think we will see Mario Galaxy 2 remastered on Switch 2? Ooh, I've seen that question a lot, and not just at the Odyssey, but
I think we're gonna see it on Switch 1. I think it's coming to Switch 1 and Switch 2. Yeah, I think it's coming to Switch 1 and Switch 2. I think it's gonna be a Switch 1 game because they did promise games for Switch 1 up to the end of 2026. So we still have a long time, and I think Mario Galaxy will be a great game for them to give put on Switch 1. As you can see by them raising the prices for Nintendo Switch, they're not looking to get rid of that system at any point. I think internally, Nintendo does still consider Nintendo Switch their main console, right? Switch 2 is their transition console. Switch 1 is still their main console because, of course, the majority of fans are still on Switch, right? They've only sold 5 million units for Nintendo Switch in the US, I guess, right? That's the US. But, it's a slow transition, so they still have to consider that Nintendo Switch like their main system. So a game like Mario Galaxy 2, they're not just going to put on one system. They're going to put it on Mario, if it's a brand new Mario, then it's going to be on Switch 2. But a Mario remastered or HD, that they can put on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2.
Yeah, what Mike said.
Yep.
And shout out to Boo Mini again. Thank you so much for the $5. Oh wait, I haven't done this yet. So much love. And I think she's asking both of us, any chance we'll get a Zelda game this year, since Age of Imprisonment will probably be January or February release and it's third party.
No.
Mike, you go ahead and say whatever you want to say. I gotta set the stage.
Not this year. Not this year. I think Age of Imprisonment is coming in January or February. January is like the show opener. February, and I think we're done for this year. I think we are done with this year for first party games.
All right, picture it, Sicily, 1937. Okay, no I'm kidding. Picture it, September 2025. We're all chilling here at the Odyssey. We have it direct, and we just chilling. We know we're not getting no more Zelda. We know Hyrule Warriors is coming, but you hear that piano, and you hear the hooves of Epona. Bam! The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. The re-release. I don't know. The
remake.
Sorry, that's actually a part.
Wouldn't it be an ocarina you hear instead of a piano?
Say it again.
Wouldn't we hear an ocarina instead of a piano?
No, the opening of Ocarina of Time, literally about a second before
the
screen comes up, you hear the piano first.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's a piano. So, but it's not going to have it. But guys, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to have a date on it. So that's a pipe dream. Also, I don't know. But what I will say is it will surprise me, and I'm not expecting it. But that's kind of when Nintendo drops stuff, or somebody, or they kind of drop stuff. So don't be surprised. Don't expect. But I could see them announcing a remake of a 3D game on the horizon somewhere, maybe next year. That would be nice if they did. did announce that. I'm here for it. So that's my very convoluted, tired answer to that. I'm so tired. I'm tired every week.
Thank you, Boo.
They make me work for my paycheck.
And then Boo Mini celebrating the 7 months membership. Thank you. Thank you, Boo. 7 months. That's a long time. I think we're done, right? Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Oh, wait, hold on. One more. I just got to read this one just because it's funny.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
bruh. Alma said, Ocarina of Time remake is my favorite game of all time. If they screw up this remake, I'll throw my Switch 2 out of the window. Baby, that's money you throwing out the window. Don't do that. Sell it to somebody if it makes you that upset. Sell it and get your money back.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
We got everybody, though. We got all the questions.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everyone. Wait, let me just cut this music out. Music.
Huh?
I'm just trying to cut the music out. All right, friends. Thank you for your questions and for spending time here at the Odyssey. You guys have been amazing. Joycey Day, where can we find you? What you got going on this week?
I got to throw a little shade. I am DJ Joycey on Twitter because I will not call it anything else. Yes, it's Twitter. Okay, forever. Anyway, I am at DJ Joycey. Mike got class, y'all, and so do I. But I gotta act a certain way in Mike's house because I respect Mike because I'm his friend. But if you got something you want to say, again, I am on Twitter at DJ Joycey. Don't bring that mess to Mike's house. Come say it to my face. But for the rest of you, I love you very much, and I can't wait to see you next week. I'm just a crazy old lady who loves video games.
Do I believe in that? No, I'm just reading.
So I'm a mess behind the scenes.
The Mario anniversary. There's the Mario 4. Oh, you mean the I think what leaked apparently was Mario and a 40th. I don't know. I don't believe anything if it's not confirmed by Nintendo. That's the new rule. That's the lesson for today. Don't believe anything from anybody until Nintendo confirms it.
It's not even about believing. Let's just have a good time talking about it. What do they say about the 40th? It's a possibility they'll do something for Mario's 40th. What I'm hoping for is
Ocarina of Time in the 4th anniversary of Mario.
But I am hoping that they will talk about the next Mario movie.
Yeah.
Even if they don't have a game yet, guys, a game is coming. It's been like 9 years.
For real.
It's coming. I don't know about this year, but it's definitely coming.
All right. You can find here at the Odyssey. I'm still working on content. I do have a brand new show coming up. It's called, what's it called? It had a name. It's a game show. It's a game show. It's called, Speedrun. Yeah, it's called the Speedrun Show. It's called the Nintendo Speedrun Show. You guys want to be subscribed. You know why? Because although I'm going to start this show with our podcast crew, I'm going to move on to selecting people from our audience to be on the show and the ability to answer 7 questions to win up to a $100 gift card to the eShop.
Ooh.
So it's the Speedrun show. The Nintendo Speedrun Show is like a millionaire type of show, but you're not gonna make $1 million because I don't have $1 million. But you can enter your way up to $100 eShop gift card on the show. I'm still working on the kinks. I have the UK is also involved. The UK also involved. You're gonna have to transfer that money over to the UK. Might be a little less, but still works. No, not $1 million for the eShop. I don't have that. No, not that. But yeah, it's a cool concept show that I'm coming up with. It's called the Nintendo Speedrun Show, where you guys can enter and if you're picked, you got to be on camera also, and you're gonna be answering 7 questions, and each question is every question is worth something, so you'll always go home with the gift card, so you'll be fine. And that's gonna be a cool show that I'm working on. To be awesome. That is everything I'm working. I'm also working on a whole bunch of videos for product that I'm backed up here. Also a review for some games, and that's all I'm working on. Just let
you're
you know.
working on something else too.
What am I working on?
Remember what we talked about last week?
Oh yeah, the Zelda
Don't
podcast.
say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud.
Okay, yeah.
We're sure that's on the list.
Well, we also have a podcast that the members already know about. We have the Main Topics mini podcast, 1-on-1, which is only members only podcast. It'll be filmed. It'll be one podcast a month, and that podcast will be for members. It'll be like a 1-on-1 podcast with special invite one day Joycey, one day Paul, and stuff. That could be for members too. And then we also have other projects on the works there we can't talk about just yet. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have been amazing. Like always. Don't give up. Never give up.
Don't do that because we need you.
Wait, why did you get hearts? I didn't get any balloons. Balloons? Why are you getting? I'm not getting anything. Anyway.
You gotta strike a pose, Mike. Come on. Madonna taught us how to Vogue already. Come on. Hold it. There we go.
It's not working. They gave me hearts in the chat. It's good. It's good.
Even better. We'll go with that. That's better.
All right, guys. Take care.
Good night, guys.
Let me find the M stream here. Where is it? Okay.
In the live, Mike. I'm tired.
Before the
I'm feeling happy with Main Topics podcast. I feel like dancing with Main Topics podcast.